I want you to tell me the answers in the comments. Okay, can we do that?
Yes,
Look
ma'am.
at the first headline. Scientists discovered water on Mars. This is the first headline. Okay. Now the question is who, what, and where. Can you answer that?
Yes, ma'am.
Just text. Use the text box, chat box to write who, what, and where. I'm asking you the question. So is this in this headline? Ask the questions who, what, and where. Nay, nay, is okay. See, the first headline is this: scientists discovered water on Mars. This is a news headline. Very good. Someone has said who is the scientist, what is the part of discovering water, and where is Mars. How did we come to that answer? You know, when you're asking the WH question, what? I am asking you for the information. Okay. Who is? I am asking you for the person that this headline talks about. Where is the location? So that is how you got this answer, right? Yes. Right. Can we do the next headline? Schools in Pune wins National Robotics Award. Okay. I think you're a bit confused here. Some of you are asking me the question, who discovered water on Mars? Very good. So if you're asking that question, you get the answer, scientist. Okay. So that is the answer for who.
Scientist.
Yes. Can you tell me the answer for the second headline? Second headline hai, I am asking you the same set of questions. Who, what, and where? Second question mein, yes. Who is the school? What happened? They won a National Robotics Award. Where is this? It happened in a school in Pune. Right? Yes. So if you have confusion, just ask this WH question to yourself and then find the answer from the headline. We'll move to the third headline now. Okay. Heavy rain causes flooding in Mumbai. Okay. Heavy rain causes flooding in Mumbai. I'm asking you the same WH questions. What, where, what is it talking about? Who is heavy rain? Okay. What is happening? So if you're telling me the WH word, tell me the answer also. Who or what is heavy rain? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Where in Mumbai. Try doing it
Here.
for the fourth headline now. Young girl climbs Everest, sets world record. Who, what, and where? Try the fourth headline. A young girl climbs Everest, sets world record. Okay, if you're telling the WH word, you have to tell the answer also. Who is a young girl? Very good. Where is? Where is not in Mumbai, right? It's in Everest. Where did it happen? Okay. What? What is a what here? What happened here? The news is that she climbed Everest. So that is the news. That is the what portion of the question. Okay. So what did we do here? I didn't give you the full news. I just gave you the headlines. And from that, you were able to get an overall idea about the news. Okay. So this is what we are going to study in today's class. Okay, that is what is called skimming and scanning. So from the first class onwards, I was trying to build a base in you. We started with the language game, self introduction, then we learned to WH words, then we learned basic sentence structure, then the basic format is then something we learned afterwards. Then we learned tenses, then we learned pattern recognition. What else did we learn? We learned logic chains, cause and effect word. It's something that we learned last class. Okay, so now that you have all these knowledge, skimming and scanning matlab, this is teaching you how to read a question. Okay, so for your exams, you might get comprehension questions. So a passage will be given to you. Based on this passage, certain questions will follow. So to answer that, you need to know how to read these passages. Some you might not get the time to read it fully. Okay, sometimes you might not know all the words. So what will you do in that case? It's difficult to know each and every word ka meaning. It's very complicated. So what is a hack for that is what we are going to do in today's and tomorrow's class. Okay, yes. So skimming matlab, you are reading quickly to get the main idea of the passage. Okay, so if I'm giving you a passage and then I'm saying, what is this passage about? Okay, a passage ka theme kya hai? So in this instance, what will you do? Will you read every word? That is not needed. You read the first sentence, you first read the title, passage. If it has a title, you read that. You read the first sentence. You just do an overall reading. You read the last sentence, and now you know what the passage is about. So if a certain word repeats, okay, so if this passage is about global warming, okay, if I'm giving you a passage about global warming, warming is a word that will repeat for a while. So now you know that the passage is about global warming. Even without reading, there are some tricks to understand what the passage is about.
मैम जरा हिंदी में बोलो। अरे है। हे माझं पण दिसते तुझी आवाज मॅम
नाही
आवाज
येत
नाही
आहे.
मॅम आवाज नाही आ रही है आवाज
Any network issue now?
Just give me a second. Yes. Yes, my microphone wasn't working. Sorry. Yes. Okay. So skimming matlab you're reading to get the main idea, that is mukhya vichar. Okay, so how do you do that? You don't read every word, you just get an overall idea about the passage. Okay, you read the first sentence, you read the title, last sentence. Okay, you just skim through. That is what is called skimming. Okay, and then we have something called scanning. Scanning is when you are reading in detail. So when the passage is asking you a specific question, okay, matlab एक specific name or a specific place, um, that is when you scan. You're looking for a specific information. Okay, so when do you use this? So please read the Hindi translation as well. It's difficult for me. That is why I've included here. Okay, so when do you do this? ये passage किस बारे में है? Okay, what is this passage about? For that, you don't have to scan. You don't have to read every word, right? And how do you do that? Passage का पहला वाक्य you have to read first, and then अंतिम वाक्य, read that, and then you get an overall idea. So scanning is when they are asking for specific information, like किस साल में और का नाम था. So these are specific words. You already know what you're looking for. See, if a passage is about global warming, okay, and you're asking, and the passage is about, okay, in 2025, the world suffered because of global warming or something like that. So there is a specific year, okay, and you know what you're looking for. So what do? You look for capital letters, you look for numbers, you look for bold words, okay, and then you look for that piece of information in the passage given. Okay, yes. So this is how you skim. So एक passage में a title will be there, you read that. Okay, and when you read the title, you understand ये किस बारे में है. And then you read the first paragraph. Okay, पहला passage पढ़ो, paragraph पढ़ो, and that from the first paragraph you will know what is the passage about. Okay, who is it talking about, what is it about, you will understand from the first sentence or first paragraph. And first few paragraph usually has the mukhya vichar or the main idea. And then you look for words that are in italics or bold. Okay, so these would be keywords or key terms, right? And then you read the last paragraph, the conclusion or the summary. That is how you skim. Okay, so yeah, this is what we've already learned. So skimming matlab, just remember this much. You don't have to read every word. You skim through. You're not reading line by line. Okay.
मैम आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Am I audible now?
मैम मैम आ रही है और
Yeah.
आवाज भी नहीं आ रही.
I'm audible now, right? Yes. So you stop at the capital letters, numbers. Okay. You have to move your eyes in an A to Z pattern and then look through the text in general. That is what skimming does. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I got confused with this. This is the scanning method is what comes next. Scanning matlab you're looking for specific information. That is when you have to look for the target words in capital. Okay, you look for the numbers. Okay, you'll understand this better when we do exercises. Okay, I'll teach you some vocab also to understand what it is. So main idea is the mukhya vichar. That is पूरे passage की सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात. That is the main idea. Okay, what is the passage mostly about? Okay, next we have the topic sentence. That is usually the first sentence of a paragraph. Okay, so yes, so topic sentence में that is passage का पहला वाक्य जो उसका विषय बताता है. Okay, then we have the inference or the anuman. Inference matlab it's something that you infer from the passage. It is not directly given, But when you read, you club all the ideas together. Sometimes with the clue, you infer a meaning. That is what is called inference or anuman. Then we have the supporting detail. It could be a fact or an example that proves the मुख्य विचार. Okay, मुख्य विचार को समझाने वाला तथ्य या उदाहरण. That is the supporting detail. Okay, that is सहायक विवरण. And then we have the context clue. Okay, so sometimes these, when you get the passages, you yourself know how you struggle with vocabulary sometimes. We all know we can't know all the words. Sometimes it sounds too complicated. So that is when you have to look for the context clue. That is Sandharb Surag. So that is, you look for words around the unfamiliar word. So if you don't know a word, ये word के पास there will be a lot of words to give you a clue. So read that, and from that you guess the meaning of the word you don't know. Okay, and then you all know what a passage is. It's a short piece of writing that will be given in your question. That's it. So I think this will help you understand better. This is a passage I've given you. Okay, I'm not asking you to read it. Don't read it. Okay, sorry. For this question, you have to. So just read the passage. The deep ocean is a completely dark and freezing environment where no sunlight can reach. Because of these extreme conditions, scientists once believed that nothing could survive at the bottom of the sea. However, deep sea exploration revealed amazing creatures like the anglerfish, which uses a glowing light bulb on its head to attract prey in the pitch darkness. This bioluminescent creature has special body adaptations that help it survive the immense water pressure. Ultimately, nature always finds a unique way to adapt and thrive in the harshest places on earth. Okay, sorry for those who can't follow. Okay, I'll be giving you the translation and I'll try to explain it in Hindi now. Okay. So the thing is, I know it's difficult for you to understand. बहुत new words है. I will now. Okay. So there are both words here that you don't know. Okay, like bioluminescence, you don't know the meaning of these fancy words. So we'll learn now how to find the meaning of them. Okay, so passage क्या है? इधर passage क्या है? This short section is the passage here. Now, what is a topic sentence or मुख्य वाक्य क्या है? The beginning sentence. Okay, that is mostly the main idea. Okay, that is a mukhya vichar. That is the beginning sentence. So if you read the beginning sentence itself, you understand that this passage is about the deep ocean. Okay, so that is a topic sentence. So main idea क्या है? Can you understand the main idea? इस passage, ये passage लिखो और main idea बताओ. The main idea is that nature adapts to survive in harsh places.
Nature adapts to survive in harsh places.
Yes. How did you understand that? Mostly in passages, the main idea might be in the beginning or in the conclusion. So sometimes you understand that. So इस passage का main idea है कि गहरे और खतरनाक समुद्र में भी जीव खुद को ढालकर जिंदा रहता है. That is the main idea. Now, supporting detail क्या है? Okay. So, so in the passage, it talks about anglerfish. Okay. So, passage में anglerfish का उदाहरण देना और यह बताना कि उसके सिर पर जलने वाला bulb होते हैं. So, that bulb, okay, that mention of the bulb is a supporting detail. Okay. So, ये साबित करना है कि जीव सच में वहां जी रहे हैं. So, that is a supporting detail. Now, context clue क्या है? Tell me one word that you find difficult in this passage. A new word that you're coming across. एक नया word क्या है इस passage में? It looks very complicated that you don't know the meaning, but I'll help you to find it yourself. Tell me one word that you find difficult. Very good. Bioluminescence. It's equally difficult for most of us. So how do you know? You yourself can find the meaning of this word from the passage. Okay? That is what is called context clue. So passage में आगे लिखा है uses a
मैम
glowing
हिंदी में बोलो।
light bulb. Yes.
Ma'am,
तो
speaking
passage में
Hindi.
आगे लिखा है
मैम हिंदी
uses
में
a
बोलो।
yes yes. So passage में आगे लिखा है uses a glowing light bulb. Okay, that is
मैडम
चमकता
प्लीज
हुआ.
एक्सप्लेन।
I'm explaining it in Hindi now. Okay. Yeah. So चमकता हुआ bulb इस्तेमाल करना. ये ग्लोइंग लाइट है कि एक कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्लू है जिससे समझ आता है कि बायोलुमिनेसेंस का मतलब रोशनी पैदा करने वाला जीव होते हैं. ओके यस. नाउ इन्फरेंस क्या है इधर? इन्फरेंस आई टोल्ड यू इज अनुमान, something that is not directly given in the paragraph. Okay, something that is not directly given in the passage but you understand it yourself. So passage कहता है कि वहां no sunlight can reach. So इससे हम ये inference और अनुमान निकाल सकते हैं कि गहरे समुद्र में पेड़ पौधे नहीं उग सकते. So ये लाइन passage में कहीं नहीं लिखी but it is 100% right. Okay, it's something you inferred. Yeah. Okay. Did you understand at least the main idea? So whenever a passage is given, you have to skim and scan according to what the question is. We'll, okay, this might seem a bit complicated, but I will explain with examples in Kalka class. Okay, because this is a continuation. So, okay, I'll zoom into this. At least tell me what have we learned so far? 6 sections है इधर. Okay, इस slide में. There are 2 things we have already learned before. Can you identify that and tell me in the chat box? Let me see if you remember. We have learned in detail effects and cause. Very good. Cause and effect. Very good.
Effect and cause.
Okay. We learned one more. Do you
W
remember?
words
I told you
and
if someone, I gave you the example of making chai. Okay, if
and
someone asks you how to,
quiz.
मैम
so yes.
cause and if
Okay. I gave you an
And
example of
quiz.
making chai. If someone asks you how to make chai, you tell the instructions in a sequential order. So we have learned that as well, right? Sequence and order.
Ma'am, zoom the screen.
We learned
Can,
this with
can
the
I have
example
a
of
1 minute, ma'am?
the
Can I
water
have 1
cycle.
minute?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
Yes. So whoever writing those messages, Swapna Vanve, कोण आहेत? मी स्वतः फोन करायचं का आपल्याला? मैं आपसे कॉल पर बात करूं ऐसे अगर चैटें चल रही है?
मैम
What are you writing?
मैम मेरा छोटा भाई था वो।
अगर आपका छोटा भाई है तो आप संभालिए क्योंकि ये रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है, ठीक है ना? आपने खुद रिकॉर्डिंग्स देखे हैं.
मैम सॉरी मैम सॉरी.
And no one will chat this kind of
Okay.
here. सगळ्यांना समजलेला?
यस मैम.
कोई भी ऐसे चैट नहीं करेगा. जो भी मैम पूछ रहे हैं, जो बता रहे हैं, उसी पर बात होगी. कोई किसी को हाय हेलो नहीं करेगा. मैम यू कैन कंटिन्यू नाउ.
Yes. Okay. So I've given you the example of, I've taught you the sequence order with the example of water cycle, right? How to use the words like first, then, next, after. So this is also something we have learned. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about the main idea or मुख्य विचार के or when I'm talking about the mukhya vichar, these are ways in which you can introduce the main idea. You can say this passage is about, okay? The main purpose is this article discusses or this passage discusses in general, okay, overall. So these are the ways in which the main idea can be introduced, okay? If you are adding more information, that is और अधिक जानकारी जोड़ना, then you can use these words like furthermore, moreover, in addition, also, besides, not only but also. So these are the ways in which you add more information or अधिक information. If you are giving, you can use these phrases. Okay. Now, if I'm okay, giving you the example of contrast or change. So imagine I'm saying the crops survived despite the heavy rainfall. Matlab kya hai? There was heavy rainfall, but even though there was heavy rainfall, the crops somehow survived. The crops were not destroyed, it survived. Okay, so ye contrast meaning ko we use these words like although. So although it rained, the crop survived. Okay, on the other hand, despite, yet, nevertheless. Okay, if you need more examples like we did in the previous class, I will give you each sentences. We'll do that in the next class. Okay, so contrast matlab kya hai? विरोध या अंदर दिखाना. Now, cause and effect is already something we have learned before, but yeah, that is कारण परिणाम दिखाना. Now we have sequence order, that is kram ya samay dikhana. That is when you use these words like finally, after, okay, sequentially, previously, subsequently, all these things. Then when I'm giving you example, how do you say you say for example, right? Other ways of saying that is such as, okay, for instance, including, like, namely. So the reason why I have given you this slide is whenever these words come in the passage, you know the significance of it. So when you see the first phrase, then you know, okay, this is where the main idea comes. Okay, now they're adding more information. They're showing contrast. Okay, ye phrase ka meaning is there is some cause and effect being mentioned. So you can identify. Okay, so yeah, so these are things we have already learned. We have learned WH question. Okay, so even when you are scanning, when a passage is given, you can ask these WH questions. We've already learned this. You ask, what is this passage about? Okay, where means the location. When does it happen? Why does it happen? So when you ask these WH questions, okay, it will help you to reach the answer. Then even when you are skimming matlab kya hai? You're not looking for specific details. Overall, you are reading. Okay, so when you learn cause and effect, you understand the flow. Okay, this happened first. Okay, this happened pehle, and baad mein this happened. Okay, you know the flow of things with cause and effect. Okay, now, yes. Repeating again, how do you approach a passage? So when a passage is there, you don't always have to read it in detail. Okay, so suppose your exam will be done in 5 minutes. You have 5 more minutes to finish your exam. You have do lamba passages left. You don't have time to read. So what do? You first read the questions. Okay, pehle question read karo. O question mein keywords highlight karo. Okay, you circle the keylights and then keywords. And then what do? Sometimes these you have to look for where do the keywords come in the passage. This question mein keywords, where does it come in the passage? Surrounding will be the answer. Okay, then so you know how to skim for the main idea. You don't read it pura, just get a rough idea of the topic. Okay, then if you're being asked for specific answers, that is when you scan. Scan matlab you're reading it word by word, or you know what you're looking for, so you look for it in the passage. Okay, and then eliminating wrong options. So this is what we have done with the trap words ka session, right? So trap words ka session, I've taught you except, not odd one out. So these are the trap words. Okay, so apply that here. I think you will understand better when we start doing these exercises. Okay, so yes, so you don't have to okay, so first question is this: what is the main idea of the passage? Passage ka main idea kya hai? Okay, I am learn this technique. Did you mean to say you have learned this? This will help you, not just for this one exam, for your coming exam. Whenever you have comprehension questions, this technique will definitely help you. Okay, it will save your time. And even if you don't know all the words, this will definitely help you out in the future. Okay, I'll definitely send you the PDF. Don't worry about it. Okay, like last class, I will send you the summary also. Now, question is this: what is the main idea of the passage? Let me ask you. Should you skim or scan? Tell me that first. Should you skim or scan to get the answer for this question? Don't tell me the answer. First, let me understand if you're following what I'm saying. You have all told me the answer, but did you skim or scan for this? Skim. Very good. You skimmed, right? You didn't scan and read all the words. Just by looking at the passage, the word sun is repeating. Okay, then you learn, you read the first
Skim.
sentence, you read the last sentence, and then you know what this entire passage is
Skim.
all about. Very good.
Is essential for the
Very good. That is the answer, right? D is the right answer. Okay. Now I'm giving you the second question. What are the two gases the sun is mainly made of? What are the two? You're saying D? Is B the right answer? Okay. C. Very good. Did you skim or scan this time? How did you come to this answer? I didn't ask you to read the passage. No one has read this passage here. Okay. Yet we came to the answer. How? We scanned, right? We knew the words that we were looking for. So his question mein keyword is gases. Okay. And then you look for the word gases in the passage. So you see hydrogen and helium gases. So that is the answer. So made of and gases were the keywords. You looked for that in the passage. Right? I hope I'm making sense. Yes. Okay, third question, you've already started answering. What is the process through which the sun produces energy called? So is it skim or scan? Tell me that first. You scanned for it. Okay. Yes. So nuclear fusion was the answer, right? D was the answer. So you scanned for it. So the keywords were produces energy.
nuclear
And then you look for it. Yes.
nuclear fusion.
So this is, I hope this is how you did it. I didn't ask you to read the full passage. You skimmed to get the main idea. You looked at the keyword gases and made of, and then you looked for it in the passage. And then the keyword for the next one was energy or process, and then you found it in the passage. That's how you came to the answer. Now, let's do this passage. Okay. Don't read it fully. That's not what I'm teaching you here. Don't read it fully. Just, okay. First question is this: what is the best title for this passage? Don't read it fully, but just skim for it. Best title. Do you have to scan and read every word? It's not needed. B. Okay.
Environmental problems.
Okay. The problem of plastic pollution.
The problem of plastic pollution. The problem of plastic pollution.
Okay. Did you read it fully? Did anyone read it fully? How did you know this? You skimmed through, right? And then you know that this is what the main idea is about. And then you gave the title. You skimmed for it. For the next question, will you skim or scan? It is asking for how many years, something specific. You have to scan for the next question. So how many years, Madhab, you know it is a number. So you have to look. look whether there are any numbers mentioned in the passage, but it is written in word form. Okay, and then you notice hundreds of years, so that is the answer. This is just a trick to attend your exam questions. Okay. Yes. Third one, what does the author want us to do? So mostly in comprehension question, they will have this exact wording in the passage. So you just look for it. That is a trick. Reduce and recycle plastic. Okay. Very good. Now, which animals are mentioned? Should you skim or scan? In the last question, should you skim or scan? You don't have to read it fully. Just look at the option and options mein, are you seeing anything similar in the passage? Turtles, dolphins, and fish. So you scanned for it. Very good. That's it.
Stand.
Turtle, dolphin, fish.
Okay. We'll try to
Turtle,
do the.
dolphin, fish.
So this is a mix of skim and
Okay,
scan.
done.
We'll try to do this passage as well. Okay. So
Right.
don't bother to read the passage. First question. Okay. The central theme of this. Okay. I think it's a solved question. But we look at it anyways. So what is the central theme? The importance of bees and threat to their survival. You don't have to read it word by word. You just skim through it. Very good. Then second question is this: what fraction of human food depends on pollination? So what fraction? So it could be a word, it could be a ratio, but that is not there in the passage. And then you look for the word, 1/3. Very good. That's the right answer. And I forgot to unmark this. I wanted to make you do this, but it's okay. I'll probably include this in the homework or something. Okay. So why have some countries banned certain pesticides? That's the third question. Okay, the answer is to protect bee pollution, bee populations. It is not directly given in the passage, but it is an idea that you infer. Okay, for that also you have to skim. Yes. Okay, it's okay. Now that it's already solved. Okay, these are the main ideas that we've discussed, right? So we have the main idea or the for the main idea or the best title, you skim. Okay. For the inference matlab, it's not directly there. Using cause, effect, or other clues, you infer the meaning. Okay. Second is the vocabulary in context, like we did for bioluminescence. Okay. So bioluminescence word, it was difficult for all of us, but we read it in the context, right? And then we understood the meaning of it. So look for the surrounding vocabulary that you are familiar with. Okay. And then, okay, when you are asked for a specific fact, a number or a name, you scan for the details. You circle the keyword. Question में keyword identify करो, वो keyword ढूंढो in the passage. Okay. And whenever there are negative questions like trap words, beware of the trap words that we have discussed. Okay. And then we have author's purpose or tone. Matlab, if you have words like must, should, unfortunately, however, this is a bit more higher level. It's okay if you don't understand. But when you see these words, you know that it is the author's tone. But mostly in science paragraphs, you won't have this. Okay. Now, what we'll do is I'll show you a passage. Okay. I will ask you these questions. You have to, you have to answer it quickly. I'm not giving you time to read the passage, okay? Because that's not what we did in today's class. Don't read the passage, just answer. Okay? Yeah. What are the tiny structures inside the leaves called? This is a rapid fire. I'm not giving you time. Yes. Sorry, did someone ask me the meaning of critical before? Uh, yeah. So critical matlab it depends on the context. Okay. So if I'm saying you have to rainfall is critical, it means that rainfall is important. It is something of importance. If I'm saying this person is critical, it means that his condition is serious. So it depends on the
Chloroplast.
context. I don't know which context I use that in. Okay. Yeah. What are the tiny structures inside the leaves called? Chloroplast. Very good. How did you learn? How did you come to that? Tiny structures was a keyword. You looked for it and then you found chloroplast, which was in the second sentence, right? Very good. Now, what type of sugar does the plant create during the process? Glucose? Yes. So, how did you learn that? You skimmed for it, right? You look at the keyword and then you looked for it in the passage. Okay. Spot the word byproduct. Tell me which sentence does the word byproduct comes in. Tell me the sentence ka number. It's in the very last sentence. Okay. It is there in the last sentence and also in the second last sentence, right? Yes. I'm giving you this question so that it will increase your speed in scanning. Yes. What is the primary topic or the main idea? मुख्य idea क्या है paragraph में? What is the main idea? So you have to skim for it. Okay. So main idea is how green plants uses photosynthesis to make their own food and release oxygen. Okay. Great. Photosynthesis. Yeah, it talks about photosynthesis, but main idea was that. Yes. I'm giving you one final passage. Let's try to answer these. Okay. So what is the best title for this? So you have to skim for it. It only has like 4 sentences. Don't read it pura, but tell me what is the best title. You can understand it from the first. I'm aware of the time. Yes. I'll wrap this up in 5 minutes. Okay. Try answering the first question. What is the best
Yes, ma'am.
title? Very good. India's first solar mission. Okay. So how did you get that? You understood it from the very first statement. You didn't have to read it pura, right? Now, year of launch. You have to scan for it. Year of launch kya hai? 2023. It was very easy. It's a number. So you just have to look for a number in the passage. Very good. Now, layer of sun studied. What is a layer of the sun study? What's the name of the? That is a question. Yes. How did you know? Layer is the keyword. You look for it and it is right there in the second sentence. Yes. Why study solar winds? You have to skim for it, right? It's not directly there, but it is something that you have to infer. So why? Because they affect Earth's communication system. Okay. Please refrain from Googling during class to find the answers. Okay. I'm trying to teach you something from the base. That's why I've included really simple passages. Okay. So try to make sense on your own, because for the exam, there won't be anyone to help you. You will have to read and understand. So if you know these tricks, it will help you. Right? Yes. So this is what we have done overall. Skimming. Okay. Then we learned about scanning. Scanning, matlab, you're looking for a keyword. Okay. You stop at capitals, you stop at numbers. Okay. And then how do you approach a passage? You don't have to always read the passage in detail. That will really confuse you. So, yeah, you read the questions, look at the keywords, look for that in the passage. Okay. You decide whether to skim or scan according to the need. Then you look for signal words like cause and effect. Um, what else did we learn? When you're adding for more information, these words we learn in detail tomorrow. Okay. Yes. So that's what today's class was about. I hope I made sense. So in tomorrow's class, we'll be learning contextual guessing. So we'll be developing from this. Thank you.